I left here mad. I was sad, but I was mad that we never took the time to meet him while he was with us, like when it really mattered.
The foundation. How did the idea come about?
Well, the idea of second chances came from my second chance at Team Penske and how I approached it so differently. And I thought, man, if someone had a second chance in life, how different would they be? So we've really geared the foundation towards foster families and foster kids in particular. There's countless kids that are born into the spot they can be in, and it's not their fault. And if you are a product of your environment, they're probably gonna do the same thing. We have to break that cycle. If you can change a life in your lifetime, I'd say you'd have a successful life. It's countless, the amount of lives that I feel like we have saved at this point. And that's the why, right? Like, that's the why. My wife asked the best question to me one night, and this is why we started the foundation, is that I was so like 100% racing. It's all that mattered to me. She goes, well, when you're on your deathbed, do you want like trophies around you? Or do you want people around you? And that one just like, it hit me. And I was like, oh, both. That was my answer. I want both. Because the platform from winning lets you do really, really big things from a charitable aspect. And that platform of just talking to people and reaching out to people and being the light in the room, right? Being the person that makes people smile or impacts somebody's life in a positive way, that platform's way bigger when you win than when you lose, right? So I can do both.
The goals with the foundation are what?
It's impacting as many families as we possibly can, as many kids as we possibly can, and keep that growth and keep, encouraging people to live a life of generosity, right? I mean, that's the number one thing I can do. Attitudes are so contagious that it really can be spread a lot, right? And maybe someone watching this today, right, is inspired to do something big or positive in their life or generous in their life. That's a hard day's work. One of the most impactful and best things that we do is called the JL Kids Crew. And it's all started because a little guy named Jake Leatherman, he passed away, and he was a huge race fan. We went to his funeral, and we all wore our race suits. And he was just a diehard fan that none of us ever met. And it just felt like the biggest, I left here mad. I was sad, but I was mad that we never took the time to meet him while he was with us, like when it really mattered, right? Like being at his funeral was fine, but boy, it was a missed opportunity. So we started a JL Kids Crew and honored Jake to give kids that are huge race fans with life-changing things that have happened in their life, whether it's something life-threatening or maybe it's someone from foster care or that is going through something in their life, that are huge race fans, and we bring them to the racetrack and give them the experience of a lifetime. We give them a race suit that is identical to mine, and we make them part of the team.
JL Kids Crew has probably been one of the most impactful because I actually get to spend time and talk to the family and know about what they're going through and just get to know them as people.
As a race car driver, you can go wherever the heck you want to go. And so why not bring a little kid that's going through a hard time and give them the experience of a lifetime, right? And it's really cool.
Tell about Gavin.
Gavin's a good friend now. Gavin, he was my first Make-A-Wish thing I've ever done. I was 19 or whatever. He wanted to meet me and go to the Daytona 500. And so Make-A-Wish reached out and said, hey, would you like to meet him? I said, oh, yeah. So we flew to Arkansas. We surprised him at his school.
I guess the first thing I thought is this real, or they somebody playing a trick on me? And it took me a few minutes to warm up to it, and then I was like, okay, this is real, and this is really awesome.
From there, the relationship just kept growing with his family, with Gavin himself, and as he's gotten older, we've done so many. There's more stories than you have time for about Gavin.
What do you think caused you guys to hit it off?
I think the fact that we're just both kind of goofy dudes and, we have similar personalities and, we make a lot of the same jokes when we're around each other.
It was in our wedding. He introduced me when we won our first championship. He introduced me on stage. He keeps a great attitude, and I tell you, his family's the greatest people you have ever met. So it's an amazing relationship that came out of a Make-A-Wish, which is really cool.
I've seen a lot of people at the racetracks that don't like the way Joey drives, and, he's one of the more controversial drivers in NASCAR, but I've never had a talk with somebody who didn't like him that's met him.